Hi guys, I love Reddit content. I love watching Smosh, I love watching Call Me Chris, I love any Reddit video that I can find, and so I figured, why can't I do it myself? And if you're watching this, I assume you also enjoy Reddit content. There's just something about hearing people's problems, hearing people's situations. You get to kind of take something from it. You also get to feel a little bit better about yourself sometimes. And so, with that being said, let's get into it. Starting off, this one sounded really fun. Someone at work stole my chair, so I had them arrested. I got a new job in sales working for a company that sells access control systems, CCTV systems, etc. The chair in my cubicle was uncomfortable AF. So I, day 3, brought in my own Herman Miller Aeron chair. Hold on, let me look that up. What is a Herman Miller Aeron chair? Okay, that is nice. That is a nice chair. I would also probably like to steal that. Just kidding. On day 4, it was missing. I looked around and another sales rep was sitting in it. I asked for it back, but he basically told me to F off. I went and spoke to the owner of the company. He told me that the chairs aren't reserved. They are first come, first serve. I explained that I own the chair and it cost me $1,800. He told me that I need to come in earlier if I want that chair. The next day, the same guy was sitting in it when I got to the office. I told him to give it back or I was going to call the cops. He refused, so I called the cops. It was quite the scene, but in the end, he admitted that he had took my $1,800 chair. I was prepared. I had the receipt, which showed the serial number, in parentheses. Yes, Aeron chairs have serial numbers. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. My new boss said I would be terminated if I had him arrested, so I said, absolutely, I want to press charges. My new boss fired me on the spot, so I carried my chair out with me as I was leaving. And yes, the cops arrested the dude who took my chair. In parentheses, he admitted to it. The dude who took my chair has been in the industry for about 15 years, but he's going to lose his security license, which means he won't be able to work in the industry. He's going to lose his job. I don't give a shit. He shouldn't have stolen my chair. Am I the asshole for making this dude lose his job? I think that is hilarious, like reading this. It is so funny, and bottom line, he should not be taking your chair, especially since, you know, I get like first come first serve, but it is OP's chair, and especially if you're gonna like bring it up to someone, like I get taking a chair for the first time, but then if someone comes up to you and says, hey, I actually brought this from home, do you think that I could have this for the future? You should say yes. I don't see how in any right of mind you would want to continue using the chair. I don't know, that's like decency. However, this is quite the extreme direction. I mean, them getting arrested, getting charged, and losing their job over taking someone's chair. Yes, they shouldn't have done that. It's not their chair. Bottom line, like, that is not okay. But I also think that the consequences do not justify the action. But who knows? Maybe this guy is a piece of shit. Maybe he's had it coming his whole life. In my head, that's like the assumption that I'm going for. Let's read some comments. Okay, someone said, my job actually supplied us with stools. Yes, stools. Talk about back and leg pain. So I brought in my own chair. I used a permanent marker to write my name all over it. If you steal my chair, that is my property and not the company's. All hell will break loose. Not the asshole. I do totally see that. Like, you're right. Like, it is your property and he is taking your property. So actually, maybe I'm gonna go back because they did say that they were gonna call the cops on them if they didn't get out of the chair, and that is exactly what happened. And I'm thinking about, like, if someone were to take something of mine that was $1,800, I would also kind of see it as theft. So, you know what? I'm learning, and yeah, The boss was also an asshole too. Not the asshole. The fact is the guy shouldn't have been effectively stealing your $1,800 chair. And as others said, sue your company for retaliatory firing. If he lost his ability to work in the industry, that's 100% because of his actions. Okay, maybe I was just like being too soft on him. It kind of seems like the general consensus is that, you know, OP's not the asshole, which I don't think that they are. I still think it's pretty drastic, but then again, he was warned that the cops would be called on him if he didn't get out of the chair. So, meh. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I am genuinely really curious. I didn't expect that one to be as difficult as it was. Next one. Am I the asshole for playing mediator in a fight between my girlfriend and my friend over his past dark jokes? Dark jokes. Off the bat, I do not like the term dark jokes because I feel like that just means, it just kind of seems like an excuse to say slurs and be really hostile to people. That's just me though. And that's just like, that's immediately what I go to. I, 20 male from Brazil, am dealing with a situation in my friend group and I'm caught right in the middle. A few years ago, my core group of friends and I started a 2-year IT course. There, we met a few group of people who eventually became our friends too. This new group of friends really does not like edgy or dark humor. My friends and I had to filter ourselves a bit, which is fine. However, one of my older friends, Gabriel, 20 male, has a very specific sense of humor. His jokes were mostly light, but sometimes they were heavier. For example, making a joke about how women belong in the kitchen washing dishes. I'm out. I'm out. There's literally nothing funny about that joke. Unless maybe you are a woman and it's like ironic. I have made those jokes myself, but a man? Coming from a man? Shut your mouth and sit down, boy. To be fair to Gabriel, he usually kept these jokes strictly within our original circle of guys, and he actively avoided making them when the girls from the new group were present. Because they're not right, and he knows that it's not right. Anyways, they still managed to overhear them from afar, sometimes, or just knew about his humor. Because of this, the new group quietly rejected Gabriel. They tolerated him, but always with a rejection face. They never actually talked to him about it. Over the years, Gabriel matured, got better filters, and never targeted anyone specifically. Now, the main event. A few days ago, we went to a mutual friend's birthday party, about 14 of us. Gabriel was on his best behavior, quiet, no controversial jokes, nothing. During the party, we played Werewolves, a social deduction game. Someone randomly voted for Gabriel to be eliminated. My girlfriend, Melissa, 20 female, who was part of the newer group, agreed to vote him out. The host asked, "Why are you guys voting for him? It sounds like you have something against him." Melissa replied quietly, but loud enough for half the table to hear, "Yes, actually I have everything against him and it's not just me." Gabriel was visibly upset. The host said that wasn't called for in public, but to avoid ruining the mood, we just kept playing. After the party, Gabriel texted our group chat feeling extremely disrespected by Melissa's comment. Here is where I might be the asshole. I tried to mediate the situation. I replied in the group chat agreeing that Melissa's comment was unnecessary, especially since Gabriel hadn't done anything wrong that night. However, I also reminded Gabriel why she feels that way, that even though she shouldn't have said that, she had her reasons. Gabriel got very angry at me. His defense is that his jokes were never directed at anyone, except for women. He kept them in his own circle. If someone was bothered, they should have asked him to stop or they leave. Melissa found out what I said and is also pissed. She refuses to apologize, saying her comment wasn't a big deal and that he has said much worse things in the past. Gabriel refuses to apologize for his past jokes because he feels he did nothing wrong. Neither will apologize. Both think they are right and now are both annoyed at me for my response. Am I the asshole? Well, clearly the biggest asshole is Gabriel, and the fact that he won't apologize for his past jokes because he feels he did nothing wrong, even though clearly so many people are uncomfortable by him. I mean, OP's girlfriend is literally saying, "Your jokes have made me uncomfortable," and nobody likes you because of the jokes you make. And he said, I don't think I did anything wrong. You're actually incorrect. I'm right. It's just so ridiculous. And my belief is that when you're in a situation where someone is making you very uncomfortable by making racist, sexist, homophobic comments, jokes, you should be able to make them feel uncomfortable as well by calling out that behavior. I always find that in those situations, they start to backtrack, they start to get offended because you made them uncomfortable when they made you uncomfortable in the first place. It's just ridiculous to me. It's just ridiculous to me. And this guy clearly does not understand the weight of Gabriel's actions, and it doesn't really seem like he's listening to his girlfriend Melissa correctly, because he is a guy and he doesn't understand what it is like to be a woman, to hear jokes about how women should be kept in the kitchen washing dishes. Super unfunny, by the way. It also, why does it matter if he's doing this in a close circle of friends or if he didn't say anything that night? Are you, like, he didn't say anything that night, so he should be, like, totally off the hook good? It doesn't work like that. Anyways, before I say anything else, I want to read some comments. And by the way, he was voted the asshole, which I do think that he's being the asshole because he's being ignorant, and he is he's not standing by his actions. Like, he understands where his girlfriend is coming, but he's still complacent, and that is, in a lot of cases, just as harmful. Info. What is funny at a women belong in the kitchen joke, in your opinion? Where are we supposed to laugh? Exactly. This isn't the 1950s, bro. Like, literally, how is that funny? This guy just sounds like he's supposed to be like this comedian of the friend group, but actually is not funny at all. Jesus Christ. Having spent most of my life with people who like edgy, ironic humor, I would ask Gabriel to consider Melissa's comment to be edgy too. Assuming he isn't a misogynist who thinks women belong in the kitchen, he's just pretending to be an asshole for comic effect, then perhaps Melissa's comment was in the same vein. Maybe he'll think it's funny when he sees how similar it is to his own humor. That is honestly such a good point. It's also the same of, like, what is the saying? Like, don't dish out what you can't take. Like, that is exactly what he's doing. Like, she made an edgy joke, but because it's targeted at him, it's not. And, like, I don't think that making jokes about people in a mean way is okay. However, he is clearly an asshole, and he clearly has done a lot to make people feel this way, and therefore I, like, am not mad at Melissa at all for saying that. And what she said wasn't even bad. Like, it was so tame. Someone said, "You're the asshole. 20 is young, but life advice to a friend who has a best behavior is too immature to be around. Your friends don't have to wait for him to do something if it's well known he is the type to do something. He doesn't get the benefit of surprise bullshit, so he can't complain when someone beats him to the punch. He is what his reputation is, and if he wants that the change, he should change." I don't know if that makes sense, but that's why I got very angry. Okay, Potter Squash, not the most literate, but that's okay. His entire bullshit is depending on everyone pretending like he is a nice guy when he decides to play nice. When you merely remind him of the reality of his past, he is pissed. They don't have to apologize. They don't have to like each other. You probably do have to choose a side. And you want to choose the side that is not sexist. Anyways, everyone agrees this guy's an asshole. The general consensus is that he sucks. He is an asshole. And Gabriel also sucks and is an asshole. I mean, like, he may feel better because he's not the one saying it, but like I said, if you are complicit and you aren't calling out misogynistic comments, you are part of the problem. And that is just correct. Wow. I'm going to go and eat dinner because I'm starving and my brain isn't functioning properly. Let me know what you think about any of the stories in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. And by the way, subscribe!